JDRF One Walk family. I'm Brett Bassinger.
And I'm Cameron Gelman. And we are so psyched to be your host for today's JDRF One Walk National Ceremony, which is a celebration of all of you, and a celebration of the entire Type 1 diabetes community for how far we've come, and, with your help, how far we'll go.
Cam and I have been quarantining together here in Atlanta to start shooting season 2 of our TV series Stargirl, where we both play high school superheroes, and
we are both Type 1 diabetics.
Oh, my deck's up on this side. Woo! I was diagnosed when I was 8 years old.
And I was diagnosed when I was 13.
While diabetes has its daily burdens, I am truly grateful for everything it has taught me and believe it has made me the person I am today. Now, getting to be on set with someone who knows what it's like to live with T1D has been so special.
9 years ago, my Type 1 diagnosis opened me up to new creative outlets, and it brought me to my love for acting. Fast forward to now, being teammates with Breck in the Justice Society of America, it's a dream come true. Working with Stargirl herself and sharing this experience with a fellow Type 1 diabetic is incredible.
Another thing we have in common is our commitment to helping JDRF fund more research and care for more families. And that is why we're here. We're going to share stories of T1D champions and hear from lots of members of the One Walk family. We hope you've gotten the chance to click around your chapter's virtual One Walk website where you can see the Fearless 50 fundraisers, the Mile of Hope, the T-shirt Hall of Fame, and a lot of more fun stuff. The site will be up for the rest of the month so you can keep coming back to check our social wall and hopefully see yourself in action.
But right now, let's kick things off with one of those JDRF One Walk stories. We know that JDRF is all about community, and that we've needed that community more these days than ever before. So here are 2 stories of families who were diagnosed with Type 1 during the pandemic and how JDRF, the One Walk, and the internet brought them together.
Finding a cure for Type 1 diabetes means more to me than the air I breathe, since my son Derek's diagnosis on April 22nd of 2020. As a diabetic for over 25 years, I know firsthand the emotional and physical toll that diabetes can take, and I want to make sure that my son is part of a generation that sees a cure.
My 4-year-old daughter Mia was diagnosed with Type 1 diabetes on May 31st of this year, just a few months ago in the midst of the pandemic. My wife Aldunza and I wanted to do anything we could for Mia. To me, that also includes finding a cure for her and everyone with Type 1.
I connected with Mike and Alondra through the JDRF New Parent Virtual Meet. Shortly after that, we connected on Facebook. Our families instantly clicked, even though it was all virtual. Our connection was more powerful than needing to be physically together. We both attend the same local diabetes clinic, and it has been awesome to have another set of parents to share our journey with.
When I met Nacy on the JDRF meetup, she gave me the reassurance that Mia was going to live a long, healthy life. She inspired me so much, so I asked her how I could participate in the One Walk, and she asked me if we wanted to join her team.
I believe in the philosophy, there is strength in numbers. A bigger team means more money raised and more awareness shared. So I invited the Zitos to join our team. I knew I had to get creative since fundraising opportunities are limited this year due to COVID-19. We have doubled our original team goal through our combined efforts. Our team name, Beast DNA x3, was based on our family's 3 Type 1 diabetics, my mom, Nancy Pita, me, and Derek, all conquering the beast in our DNA. Now that we have added the Zitos, we are Beast DNA x4, and we are even more powerful.
Type 1 can't be beat alone. You need a solid support system and have people around you who understand the everyday life of Type 1. When great people join forces, great things happen. And that's what Nacy and I have in common. She has been a blessing for me and my family. And together, we are going to beat Type 1 and help other people along the way.
My name is Nacy Rodriguez, and my JDRF One Walk is for my mother, Nancy Pita, my son, Derek Alexander Rodriguez, me, and Mike's daughter, Mia, and to prove that we are definitely stronger together.
My name is Mike Zito, and my JDRF One Walk is for my daughter, Mia, Nacy's son, Derek, and to prove that we are definitely stronger together.
That story reminds me of how important it is to have a support system when facing T1D. JDRF has been one of the greatest support systems my family and I could ask for. Actually, when I was 9, I wrote a letter to JDRF in the hopes of becoming a delegate to the Children's Congress. It took a few years, but that dream eventually did come true, and I was so proud to speak out on behalf of the millions of people just like me living with type 1 diabetes. And I'm so proud to now introduce you to the person at the helm of this life-changing organization who is doing his part to help us reach our goal of walking 1.6 million miles as part of our One Walk campaign. Here is JDRF's President and CEO, Dr. Aaron Kowalski.
Hey everybody, it's Aaron, JDRF's President and CEO, and I am still walking, and I can't thank you enough for walking with me over this last month. It's a beautiful day here in New Jersey. I'm logging miles. My goal, 160 miles, 32 miles around Manhattan with my brother Jonathan. And we're doing it to make T1D history, to drive cures for T1D, to prevent T1D, to better treat T1D until we get there. Of course, I would have loved to have been out in Manhattan doing our JDRF New York walk or with you around the country. We're faced with this challenge, but you've all leaned in. We're raising millions of dollars, walking over 1 million miles, thousands of people. Thank you so much for getting out and walking for JDRF. It's been amazing. We're making history. We're going to make T1D history, and it's because of folks like you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Thanks, Aaron, and have a great walk around Manhattan. A lot of people have been spending more time looking at screens and playing online games over the past few months. If you haven't heard of the online game Roblox yet, I'm going to tell you all about it. Every month, more than 120 million people are building and playing in the amazing 3D Roblox worlds right now, and the JDRF family has gotten in on the fun. There is now a JDRF One Walk experience in Roblox where you can visit and even meet up with family members, friends, and classmates in the game. It helps you learn, explore, and play in a safe, interactive online environment. Plus, if you play and win all of the mini games, you'll receive access to the V1P tent as well as a few other amazing surprises along the way. If you haven't already, be sure to click on the link right here on your site after this ceremony ends and check it out. We'll even be live streaming the game for all to see. And the JDRF One Walk is just the first way we'll be connecting in Roblox. Keep an eye out for more coming soon. Now, it's time for the story of another amazing One Walk participant. And this young man holds a special place in our hearts here at Stargirl because he's a true superhero. His mom tells us more about his incredible superpowers that inspire so many.
Team Antidote walks for this amazing kid right here, Damien.
Hi!
The strength and courage he has shown at such a young age, the self-discipline and self-control he has, it inspires us all to just be better people overall. I think he's a role model to all the people who love him. And until we find a cure, we'll continue to help fund advances in technology to help give our son and so many others a better chance at life. We remember what it was like before a Dexcom or before a pump. So to have these devices now truly changes our way of life. Not just for Damien, but for me as his mom as well. Damien can go to bed with the peace to know it's okay to close your eyes because mom's got you. Damien created our team name Antidote. He once referred to himself as a superhero who takes his antidote to help get rid of the poison that makes him type 1. He is totally a superhero because he wakes up after a bad night with a smile from ear to ear and ready to take on the day. He makes it look easy because he's our brave T1D superhero. And he's also a superhero fundraiser, selling stickers, and even creating a stuffed animal named Sharkabetes that's actually being sold online with $5 of every purchase benefiting JDRF.
Walking for JDRF is one of my favorite things to do. And when I found out how much money we raised this year, I just couldn't believe it. We can all be superheroes. We can all walk together and work together to beat type 1 diabetes. My name is Damian Reynoso, and my JDRF 1 walk is for me and superheroes just like me.
I advocate for my daughter Victoria.
My son.
My daughter.
For our future child.
JDRF advocates are the voice of the type 1 diabetes community.
Advocates are using their voices and their stories to advocate for better research, access to affordable insulin.
Critical federal government support for type 1 diabetes research.
Advocacy brings us closer to a cure.
We advocate for you.
Let's make a world that's better for everyone living with type 1 diabetes.
The JDRF One Walk is the largest T1D event in the world, which is pretty cool to be a part of. And One Walk isn't just about building community and having a great time. It's also about raising essential funds so that JDRF can continue its mission across the nation and the world. People from every walk of life raise funds because they know that JDRF is going to lead us to our cure. And this year, even in the face of the pandemic, it's no different. We've got more than 40,000 walkers on more than 10,000 teams not standing still while T1D takes its toll. Every dollar, every donation is important to our mission, and we're well on our way to reaching our goal of raising $50 million in honor of JDRF's 50th anniversary. We're going to reach this goal in large part because of the hard work of our V1Ps. Those are people who have raised at least $1,000 for this year's event. There are already more than 3,000 V1Ps with us today, and you'll see a list of your local V1Ps scrolling beneath this broadcast. Please thank them in the chat and any other way you can. But no matter how much you've raised, I'd like to say people with T1D like me will continue to be thankful for you every single day. So thank you. Okay, here comes another inspiring story, and this one celebrates the lifeblood of One Walk, our awesome, dedicated volunteers. JDRF in this event will rely on community volunteers to take on challenges big and small. And these superheroes take it all in stride, even putting on a One Walk from start to finish.
Back in 2012, when our son Curtis was diagnosed with T1D at age 6, I honestly didn't know what the JDRF did. We started to learn about JDRF's mission when his nurse at school asked us to be on a JDRF One Walk team for the first time. We raised maybe $50 that year. But then when we arrived that day at the walk, it was life-changing. My eyes opened, my heart broke, and my passion grew. Since that walk, I knew I needed to be part of this community, and Team Curtis was born. I had the opportunity to work for 6 months in our JDRF local office, and I saw how much incredible work was done behind the scenes. When we learned that our local chapter office would be closing and that One Walk would continue as this volunteer-led program, I just felt driven to do it. After all, JDRF and the One Walk are more than just about one community, one site. It's this national movement, and I was honored to do my part. Since then, facilitating this walk has been this amazing thing that I get to do and help people come together and raise funds for our T1Ds. Yes, it has its hard parts, like getting new sponsorships, all the behind-the-scenes work for our in-kind donations, and of course, dealing with this pandemic. It's a lot of hard work, but let me tell you, communicating with these families and educating people and raising thousands upon thousands of dollars to better the lives of our T1Ds, it's worth it. It's so rewarding, and anyone can do this. It really shows how far you can go as a volunteer within this organization. Watching everything come together and the joy on the faces of volunteers and families, it's just awesome. My name is Jacqueline Jones, and my JDRF One Walk is for Curtis and for every T1D in my community and beyond.
Thank you, Hewitt, for donating to JDRF.
Let's find a cure.
Women in Construction supports JDRF. Woo!
Thank you, walkers. Keep on walking. Thank you, walkers.
Teams are the backbone of the JDRF One Walk, And while lots of teams are family teams like mine, we're also lucky to have corporate teams of all sizes from coast to coast. We've got small local companies that participate in a single event and big national companies that support JDRF in multiple markets. Our partners welcome us into their corporate families, and they make JDRF feel like we're a part of their culture. They form corporate JDRF One Walk teams, volunteer their time through local events, take on leadership roles, and engage their customers and vendors on our behalf. Each one of them provides key financial support, and tens of thousands of employees put their sneakers on and get out and walk. You can see the logos of our national partners on the screen now, and your local event site features the companies in your area which have stepped up to support JDRF, even during this tough time. Please join us in thanking them for their generosity and dedication. Like Breck said, we'll do just about anything for JDRF. My family has been walking in my hometown of St. Louis since 2012, and we're going to keep walking for JDRF to thank them for being there at every turn. Our final One Walk participant will introduce you to a man who feels the same about JDRF as we do, and he's proven it by taking on a journey that will absolutely leave you in awe of what he's accomplished.
In 2016, my daughter Rachel was hospitalized and diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. While she was in the hospital, we were introduced to JDRF through their online community forum. My wife Leanne and I assured Rachel that because of JDRF, better treatments will allow her to live a normal life, and that research was being done to deliver new treatments and an eventual cure. I also promised her I would do everything I possibly could to make this happen. And I've found out along the way, I'm actually really good at fundraising. Doing something ridiculous for a worthy cause has been my fundraising strategy for JDRF. So my JDRF One Walk was a really ridiculously long walk from Manhattan to Orient Point, 115 miles to the east on Long Island. On October 10th, I began my walk on the 59th Street Bridge in Manhattan and headed east, walking for 55 hours straight. From the skyscrapers in the city to the suburbs and then east toward the farmland and the Long Island vineyards, I continued, often in the dark and the rain, sleeping literally only 1 hour in total.
The Smithtown Bull.
I was very fortunate to have friends, family, and first responders stop to wish me well along the way. These visitors offered me food, drinks, or even just encouragement.
Yep, that is the Stony Brook Fire Department.
And after News 12 Long Island aired a story about my walk on the second day, dozens of people driving past honked their horns or stopped to ask, "Hey, are you the guy on the news walking for diabetes?" Besides the fundraising, getting the T1D story out there to as many people as possible helped to accomplish another goal as well, and that is awareness and attention. The $64,000 I've raised so far came from over 600 individual donors. I do hope that one of you JDRF One Walkers are able to top that. Well, stay tuned as I'm already thinking of ridiculous ideas for my 2021 JDRF fundraiser. It's gonna be a big one. My name is Michael Ehrlich, and my long-haul JDRF One Walk is for my daughter, Rachel.
Hey Cam, do you know why today's event is being held on November 1st?
I sure do, Breck. It's because today is the first day of National Diabetes Awareness Month.
Okay, yes, that's impressive, Cam, but there's another reason.
We're celebrating the fact that season 2 of Stargirl is about to start shooting, featuring 2 superheroes of type 1.
Okay, well, yes, that is also true, but that's not what I'm getting at. Today is also National T1D Day. And do you know why National T1D Day is on November 1st?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
You are betting correct. Today is November 1st, also known as 11-1, which when written out is 3 1s. 3 1s for T1D. Ah, you got it!
That is cool.
I know, it is. Well, it is a huge day for JDRF and our entire community. Today is dedicated to the 1.6 million people in the U.S. with type 1 diabetes and the people who love and support them as well. And this month is dedicated to spreading the word about T1D, making sure everyone knows that they can be a type 1 diabetic champion with improved JDRF.
Just because we're celebrating today, that doesn't mean we're going to stop fundraising and walking tomorrow. We've got 1.6 million miles to conquer and $50 million to raise. I know that we're not going to stop until we get there, because JDRF One Walk isn't about one day or even 1 month. It's about working together every day to get us closer to a world without type 1 diabetes.
Say it again, Cameron.
Heyo.
In fact, we've got 2 amazing chances coming up for you to keep going on our journey to find that cure. On November 14th, we're teaming up with the JDRF Ride and Team JDRF programs for the World Diabetes Day Global Challenge. The global diabetes community is challenging to see how many times we can circle the globe with our collective miles as we walk, run, and ride together. Keep an eye out for more details and don't you dare put those sneakers away. And the JDRF One Walk spring season is right around the corner. So if you traditionally walk with us in the spring, you can get registered now and have plenty of time to train, fundraise, and spread the word. Make sure you keep using the hashtag JDRF One Walk whenever you can, and keep going.
We've got to get ready to get back to set soon, but before we wrap things up, we want to show you guys just how amazing our One Walk community is in cities and towns from coast to coast. When JDRF asked you to take your own One Walks, you delivered. And you sent us photos and footage of you in action, which we're going to share as we sign off, and we're going to let you explore how incredible your local One Walk website might be.
On behalf of Cam and me and the millions of other people living with T1D, thank you for joining us. Thank you for making the JDRF One Walk your walk. And thank you for being total superheroes for JDRF and the type 1 diabetic world.
Be well, be safe, and we will see you soon.
Walk with Kai because he is my hero.
I'm walking for my kids and my dad and everyone living with T1D.
I walk for JDRF because I have had type 1 diabetes for 3.5 years and I'm tired of needles.
And I walk for our 2 sons, Kevin and Max Gallagher.
We walk for Calvin, our Gator Man, who was diagnosed just over a year ago, in the hopes that he will know what it's like again to live without type 1 diabetes.
I've been living with type 1 diabetes for almost 10 years. I don't want diabetes. I want a cure.
Please help us find a cure for type 1 diabetes. Bye!